Probably one of the most challenging endeavors you'll ever embark upon is trying to lose weight or improve your health and fitness and to maintain it forever. In fact, data shows, regardless of diet, regardless of workout program, the fail rate is something like 90%. That's why what I'm about to say is so important. The most important and probably valuable investment you can ever make in your fitness, by far, nothing comes close, is hiring a good coach or a good trainer. Nothing comes close to the impact it can have on your long-term success. The reason why I'm bringing this up is we have all this talk around medications that seem to have some efficacious results. They're quite expensive, thousands of dollars a month. People are jumping on board to the point where they're running out. And it's like, look, a good coach or trainer is probably going to be less expensive, going to be way more effective. So if you're going to spend some money on anything to help you lose weight or get in better shape, find a good coach. Nothing comes close.
I feel like I want to respond with say it louder to the people in the back.
It's so crazy how willing people are to spend $1,000 or $1,500 a month. That's how some of these medications cost.
Yeah.
Because studies show that you can lose like 5% or 10% of weight, and people are like, they're like, oh my God, I want to buy this. I'll spend so much money to do this. It's like, man, if you hired a good coach, first off, it would probably cost you less. But even if it costs the same amount,
it's an investment. It's that initial bit that people are just afraid to commit to.
Nothing will be more effective. Nothing. There's no combination of supplements or drugs or anything that'll come close to what a good coach or trainer can do for you.
Yeah. This is why I asked the other day when we were talking about Ozempic and stuff like that, and said, what percentage would you put on, if we had like a pie chart of, food, exercise, sleep, supplements. Where do these drugs fall in, or, and you said maybe 10%, like 5% would be like supplements. This is maybe 10% at best.
A little bit more. Yeah.
Yeah. And so the idea that people are willing to spend that much money on something like that is such a small percentage of a difference as far as the grand scheme of things is what will actually move the needle. But I'm not surprised. I mean, that's why the supplement industry is massive, and it's even less effective, and people still spend thousands and thousands of dollars annually on pills and powders in hopes that it's going to get us in shape.
It's the promise of success without hard work.
Without the work, minus the work.
Yeah, and first off, I understand that, by the way. That's very alluring. But let's just rephrase this, for example, because losing...
That's why everybody buys a lottery ticket.
That's it. So losing 30 pounds and then keeping it off forever, or improving your fitness and health and maintaining it forever, that requires you to change how you live. It's not, I'm not saying that lightly, literally, because the way you're living now is the reason why, let's say you're 30, 40, 50 pounds overweight, or why your health isn't where you want it to be. So it means you have to live differently forever in order to maintain that. So let me rephrase that. Imagine if I was selling a drug that said, hey, you got a bad marriage? Take this pill, fix your marriage. Everybody would be like, get out of here. Like, that's so stupid. That's not going to work. That's how silly it is when you hear the same thing when it comes to weight loss or improving your health and fitness, taking a pill or taking a drug.
Unless it's Viagra.
Yeah.
So I want to put that out there.
Yeah. So, and I mean, that's the point that I'm trying to make. And, I used to have this conversation with potential clients all the time. So look at the price tag of hiring a trainer. Let's say you hire like a really good trainer. We'll go nationwide because I know it's more expensive in some areas, less expensive in other areas. You'll probably cost you, I don't know, $70, $80 an hour on average. Some places much more, some places a little less. But let's just say like $80 an hour. And let's say you work out with a coach or a trainer twice a week. So you're going to do 8 sessions a month. So, it's hundreds of dollars a month. You're going to be spending, $700 a month, or $600 a month or something like that. Maybe even $1,000 a month, let's say. These drugs cost that much, and they won't do what a good coach or trainer can do for you. They're not going to have the permanent, lifelong success. They're not going to come along with a list of we don't know side effects.
Yeah.
Now I'm not, by the way, saying anything like I know some of these new peptides that are coming out seem to show real promise, especially in comparison to some of the other stuff that's out there. I'm not none of us are anti-medicine. I think it's got some value. But if you're thinking that this is going to solve your issues forever, it's not. You have to learn how to live differently. And a good coach understands that and knows how to get you there. And yes, it takes time. Yes, it takes work. But man, the transformation at the end, the least of which, the least important of which is the physical transformation. It's the other transformations, which for someone who's never gone through it, it's hard to explain, but you really will become a different person. You'll learn how to do this forever. It's not going to become a stressful thing. At the end of it, you'll be like, man, I love this. This is great. I enjoy taking care of myself. I know how to take care of myself. I have this great relationship with food. Exercise is a part of my life. And then the downstream effects. And doing that on your own without a good coach or guide, oh man, it's almost impossible. These are skills that you're going to want to hire somebody who knows how to walk you through that. You're just going to want to do that. And there's nothing that compares. Nothing comes close. And so I wish more people knew that, you know?
I think the level of coaches and trainers have gotten significantly better too.
That's so true.
You know, when there was a massive gap, I felt like, when we started 20 plus years ago, as far as like how educated, experienced coaches and trainers were. It's become such a big industry now, and it's so popular that it's become competitive. And in order to be a good coach and trainer, like you had to have gone through courses and certifications and experience. And so, you know, in the past, I remember when I first started training, and clients would like move somewhere else, and they'd be in search of another really good trainer. I'd be like, God, you cannot find another really good trainer. I don't feel like it's that way anymore. I feel like every probably gym or every town has got quite a few really educated trainers, just because information, the way it flows now, that you can get that anywhere on the internet now. So finding somebody who is a good coach and trainer is a lot easier than what it used to be.
Yeah, you know, it's funny. So obviously, you know, being a health and fitness podcast, we've been approached by countless trainer and coach courses, right? Because it makes sense. Like, oh, you guys are real popular. A lot of trainers and coaches listen to our podcast. So if you guys could just talk about our certification, it would be great. And we turn, 99% of them down, not because they don't present good information. I think you'd be hard pressed to find a, nationally recognized certification that doesn't present good information. They all have good information. The problem was none of them were teaching trainers and coaches how to actually train and coach people successfully. They gave them the building blocks. Here's macros, here's calories, here's fats, here's proteins, carbs. Here's the exercises, how to do them properly.
Just the education, not the application.
Yeah, but how you coach someone, how you walk them through, being more than just a walking, talking Google, right? Like, here's the challenges that they have. They're not fitness fanatics. This is how you communicate with them. Here's how you can help them move along this process. None of them did that. When we were approached by NCI, they were one of the first ones that we actually saw do that. Like when I went through and when we went through their stuff, and then we met with Jason Phillips. They were small back then. We met with Jason Phillips, and that was the first thing he said. He goes, "Look, information's great, application's everything." And we were like, "Okay, you're speaking our language."
Well, I mean, for me, it was like the most frustrating part was to be in the same gym with some of these trainers that were on a caliber way beyond me. Like they're just fully educated, a great example of a coach, but they had terrible business practice, business acumen. They just didn't know how to run their own finance and market themselves and put themselves out there. And to inevitably where they couldn't sustain a business for themselves to keep doing it. They had to move on to a different industry and a different career path, because it's like that resource really wasn't available in order to teach people that are like, that highly educated, but also are like that passionate about it, but don't have, the business side of it really figured out.
Don't you guys feel like NCI is just a small example of like how education is going to be disrupted in the future anyways?
Yeah. Totally.
Because like when you think about somebody who gets a business degree, and you know how to write a business plan, and you understand how to, balance an Excel sheet and stuff like that. It's like, oh, this is all great, but that's not what makes a great entrepreneur. I'll take an entrepreneur who's failed 6 times than the master's.
They're resilient.
Yeah, the master's degree in business, fresh out of school.
It's because the experience, they know how to apply.
Yeah, the application. What you're talking about right now is that the application part is so important, and that doesn't mean that the education isn't there. It's just that we've taught education a certain way for so long that here are the X's and O's, but I feel like NCI did such a good job of bridging that gap. I mean, you were big before we even met NCI. Justin, you were a huge fan of like precision nutrition, which is incredible, right? They got incredible information, But that was the example that I remember, Jason used is like, man, they're incredible. The information they have is fire. Just like, Sal, your point about all these national certifications. But one of the things that left almost all of my trainers like lost was, okay, now how do I take all this great information that I have about training the body and nutrition, and how do I now apply that to make money and be successful? Because
get results out of my clients.
Well, that's a big part of the business, is to be able to run a business. It's great that you understand physiology and nutrition like the back of your hand, but if you don't understand how to create a business on it, you're only going to go so far.
Yeah, in fact, I'm in the process of hiring a trainer for my dad, and so you guys know I work out. There's a gym locally that I work out at, and I watch the trainers training clients, mainly because it's my space. So I'm just, I see what they're doing or whatever. And there's one guy that kind of stood out. And first of all the trainers there understand exercise, form, and technique. And I think that's like the minimum. Like, if you don't understand exercise technique, all that stuff, like that's like the bare minimum. But what I was looking for was how they apply it when they train different people. Do they adjust the intensity properly? When the client asks them a question or poses a challenge, how does the trainer explain something? How are they able to communicate something? How are they able to guide this person from where they're at, meeting them where they're at, to where they want to go? What does that look like? And so I've been paying attention. I found a guy and I approached him, and I'm going to end up hiring him because I've seen him hire young people, old people who can't move well, and I can see him adjust according to the person, how to apply the training, how to work with them. That's what you want to think about when you hire a coach or trainer. Is this person, can they, not just do they know exercise? Okay, that's like the bare minimum. Like, you better know exercise if you're a trainer. That's like, it's like if you're an author, do you know how to read? Great, you're an author. Like, no, that's the bare minimum. What you want is, can I see myself working with this person and being guided through the most challenging times I'm going to have with my diet and my exercise? Not right now when I'm motivated and hiring them, because that's easy. Oh, I'm so motivated. Let me hire you. Yay, I'm going to do whatever you tell me. Great. That's not going to last. Can I see this person being somebody that I want to work with when I don't want to do what they're telling me? How are they going to approach that? Are they going to hammer me? How am I going to respond to that? Or are they going to understand and help coach me? Are they going to work with me when I'm in good moods, bad moods, motivated, unmotivated? Am I going to want to show up and see this person when I don't feel like working out? Not because I want to work out, but because I don't mind seeing this person. That's a big one too. That's what you want to look for. Am I going to find that guide that's going to coach me along the way? You know what it's like? It's like movies with martial arts masters. You ever watch like these like fictional movies, and they got the martial arts master, and it's like what they end up showing is that the martial arts master is more like a life master. And it teaches the disciple how to become this incredible martial artist. And it's less about like the special technique that they teach them and more about these life lessons. I know I'm sounding very philosophical and esoteric. I'm going a little wild.
Yagi.
But very true.
I can't help but think about that.
100%, right? That's literally what a great coach or trainer will do for you. And the cost literally is, I mean, you could spend as little as a couple $100 a month and have them train you, once every other week or once a week, or you could see them 3 days a week and spend more. But dollar for dollar, there's nothing that I can think, not even our programs come close to working with a good coach or trainer. Yeah. There's nothing on a dollar for dollar basis that you can invest in that'll even come within the same universe as to what a good coach or trainer will do for you if you're serious about doing this and achieving this and accomplishing it forever. If that's your goal and you got money to spend and you want to invest, you're like, I'm serious about this, don't waste your money on anything else. Hire yourself a good coach or trainer. They'll do more for you than almost anything else that's out there.